Firstly, can I say thank you very much to you for submitting your parade form, informing us about your entry to the parade and indeed the details of your float. That has been greatly appreciated. It's critical for the safe operation of the parade that we do have stewards in place and that we are aware of the floats that are coming along, just so that we can A, not only get them round safely, but B, make sure that we've got enough cover to make sure that nothing untoward will happen. We've got a parade code of conduct and we've got some steward instructions that I'm going to run through with you. The key thing to remember is that this is a family-friendly event that we're looking to run. It's meant to be as inclusive as it possibly can, and we want to make sure that everyone has as much fun as they possibly can as well. Even if the weather is not so nice, but fingers crossed it will be nice and sunny when we're going around in the parade. On that basis, safety is paramount. We need to make sure that nobody has any weapons, for example, nobody uses abusive or aggressive language, and that everybody feels that they can participate in the parade fully and has as much fun as they possibly can. On that basis, we will ask you to follow at all times either the direction of myself as the parade director, as the directions of the key stewards that I will have throughout the parade, and obviously follow the directions of the police. We're not asking anybody to step in and take action if they see things happening that shouldn't be. But if you do see threatening behaviour, inappropriate language, whether that be discriminatory or otherwise, that's not acceptable, then what we will ask you to do is notify one of my key stewards or myself. We will have walkie-talkies, so we'll be able to communicate up and down the length of the parade. And then we will take the appropriate action with the police and we'll ask the individuals involved to be removed from the parade. Obviously, should something serious happen and we need to stop the parade, we'll make that clear to everyone on the day. And there's a key point. If something is happening during the parade, somebody takes unwell or something happens with your float, then yet again, what we'd ask your stewards and indeed your lead for your float to do is notify one of my team as soon as they possibly can, so that we can make sure that we bring things to a standstill and that we get either the individual the help that they require, or indeed we take the appropriate course of action to remove the float if that is what would be required in the rest. We never know. We've not had it yet, and hopefully I've not jinxed it, but we've not yet had a vehicle breakdown, but you never know, these things may happen in the rest. On that basis, yet again, safety, we want to get everyone round in one piece, very conscious that what we've got are tractors and trailers, and we've got lots of young, small children. These two things do not often mix very well when they come up against each other. So thinking about safety, we ask that as long as we are moving, nobody is taken on or off a float. If you need to take somebody off a float because they're in distress, they are feeling unwell, something has happened, then you let us know and we will bring the parade to a stop so that individual can get the appropriate care and attention that they require. What we would say there is there will be stoppages during the parade. Indeed, we will have a stop on the parade at Reed Street, where we'll bring the full parade to a halt. That's where there will be water and juice and crisps and sweets available, not only for those who are in our bands, and we have 3 bands with us this year, but also for children and young people as well, just to give everyone a bit of a break. However, what we need to do is make sure that we get through the parade in an orderly fashion and that we get through it in a timely fashion as well. Obviously, it is the Queen's big day. It's the court's big day. We need to make sure that we get them to the bandstand at 1 o'clock. So the parade will be leaving Sainsbury's car park at 12 o'clock, and our intention is to get the Queen safely to the bandstand by 1 o'clock. So we do ask that everybody, when you are in the parade, that you keep moving in an orderly fashion. We don't let big gaps appear between each of the different floats and the rest. Indeed, our stewards will be making sure that doesn't happen, and we get ourselves round in as best a time as we possibly can. So in terms of that, as I say, we will send around the parade of code of conduct and ask you to read through all of the items in there, and just be conscious yet again of, we're obviously going past people's homes, we're going past places of worship. It's our town. We want to do it the best turn that we possibly can, so just be conscious of where we are at all times. In terms of arrival at Sainsbury's, obviously, yet again, it's going to be very busy on the morning with everybody arriving. What I'm going to be very clear about is that we're going to ask your tractors and trailers, so your floats, to arrive by 10 a.m. I want them to be arriving from 10 a.m. until 10:30 at the very latest, and I don't want any walking participants to arrive until 10:30 onwards. I want to very clearly make sure that we've got the large vehicles in place and safely lined up in the car park before we then get any walking participants arriving in the car park. Yet again, it's just about making sure that everybody is safe and that nobody gets hurt and that we don't have that horrible mix of large tractor tyres and small children. So if you can ask your drivers to have their vehicles and the trailers in place from 10 o'clock onwards, that would be great. We will have stewards down at the car park. We will get them into the appropriate position. And then if you ask anyone else, anyone who is in the walking parade, they can arrive from 10:30 onwards. Indeed, I would recommend that they arrive probably from 10:45 to 11 a.m. That would give sufficient time for them to get in place for the judging to take place. Now that's another important part. Judging is going to take place from 11 until 11:45. So you do want all of your participants present with your parade so they can be properly judged by our volunteers who will go around and do that. On that basis, obviously, you're going to have a large number of people being dropped off. Sainsbury's remains fully operational. There will be customers going for their shop, although we are going to try and encourage via social media people to think about shopping either the night before or after the parade has taken place. But obviously, some people won't be able to do that. They will still require to go to Sainsbury's. There'll be last-minute purchases for Gala Day, I'm sure, required. So on that basis, we need to make sure that the car park is free for customers. And what I would recommend to you is that you get your walking participants to be dropped off behind Sainsbury's around at Station Road. There's obviously safe routes of travel through there and into the Sainsbury's car park. So if they get dropped off around there, that's going to free up the space that is in the car park and mean that customers can use it freely. If you do for any reason come into the Sainsbury's car park, please do not wait around too long in terms of dropping off. Make sure you drop off people in a timely fashion. But also please say to anyone who does end up dropping off in Sainsbury's not to park in the petrol station at all. We've had that in past years. It's a fully operational petrol station. Customers coming and going. We don't want anyone to be blocking access to that. So do not park in the Sainsbury's petrol station. That's a request, please. In terms of your stewards, when they arrive, if they can arrive between 10 and 10:30 as well, that would be great. And they can report to the parade director's desk. I will have a table set up beside my car as you come into the Sainsbury's car park. We will give them out a high-vis vest. That high-vis vest must be worn at all times during the parade. So they should come and see me, and we've got a variety of sizes that we'll be able to make sure everyone's got exactly what they need. At the end of the parade, we will ask them to hand that back in. There will be a lead steward for the parade, and he will stand at the entrance to the park and he will collect in the high-vis vest from your steward. So yet again, just remind them that we'll be expecting those back at the end. On that basis, I say we're aiming to get the Queen into the park for 1 p.m. When we do, what we're going to ask is that those who are on foot follow down into the park, down towards the bandstand, into the path down there. So that A, we can see the Queen being crowned, but B, so that participants are there for when the awards are handed out for the parade prizes that there will be. On that basis, the floats will continue on up Three Staines Road. Nobody will be, they will not be asked to stop. People won't be able to get off at the park. They'll have to stay on the vehicle and on the trailers. They will go up Kirkland Park Avenue, and then they will come to the point where it meets again with Three Staines Road. When they park there, and only once they are at a full stop, will people be allowed to come off the floats. And obviously, yet again, if you can bring the children and other participants down in an orderly fashion down Three Staines Road, that would be great. But we don't want to have a rush of cars up there trying to pick children up. We would ask you to have them walk back down to the park so they can meet their parents and others from there. So yet again, the floats will not stop. They will continue on up Three Staines, up Kirkland Park Avenue, and they will come back to the point where the two meet, and only when at a full stop will participants be asked to come off. We ask that the stewards politely ask spectators to not spray the bands or the cars with silly string. I know there will be silly string on the day, but yet again, in terms of the parade, cars that are there for the gala court, these are being loaned to the parade, and we want to make sure that they don't go home damaged. And the same in terms of the band. Obviously, they are doing their best to keep us all entertained as much as you are on your floats. They're adding a good bit of lively music to the whole festivity and the rest. So yet again, it's being respectful of those playing in the bands, the weather conditions and so forth that we'll be playing in, and making sure that they get round safely and without silly string being sprayed all over them. So we would ask your stewards just to keep an eye on that. I should have said there will be a break during the parade. We will stop at Reed Street. At that point, there will be water, crisps, juice and sweets available for children, but also for the bands as well. So that will be a natural point for breaking. We will try and not have the parade stop. As I say, we don't want gaps to appear between the floats. We want everyone to keep going in an orderly fashion and the rest, because we've only got an hour to get around the town and get the roads opened back up so people can go about their normal days. So we ask you to keep things moving along. We ask your drivers to listen to the instructions that the stewards are giving them and the rest. And when we do have a break, we will give you plenty of warning that we are going to be starting again. And we would ask that your drivers are in place, ready to start, and we can get the parade moving along. Hopefully that has been helpful. Yet again, can I just put on record my thanks for your application forms, and also the fact that you've managed to identify your steward as well. We look forward to seeing you on Saturday. Thank you for all the effort that you're putting into your floats, and please, if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us, and we'll be happy to answer any of them that we can. And we'll see you Saturday. Thank you.